Hello, Tanu.
Hello, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. I'm doing well too. I'm so happy to have you here in Phoenix for in-person celebration of your phenomenal success. So, to give context to our viewers, Tanu Sharma worked with me on 4 MBA programs, and she got into 3 of them, one with scholarship. So, and the programs she got into were NYU Stern, Berkeley Haas, and Kellogg. And Stern also offered her a scholarship, but she's heading towards Kellogg, her dream school. Congratulations. So,
Thank you so much. I think it's been an amazing journey. There were ups and downs, but everything was worth it. And especially, I had you by my side to guide me as my mentor. So, thank you so much.
my pleasure. It has been a long journey
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
It took us almost 6 months
Yes. Yeah.
to get through all this. So let's begin by having you tell our viewers about yourself, your academic and professional journey.
Sure. So, I was born and brought up in Udaipur, Rajasthan, India. It is a very beautiful city. It's known as City of Lakes. And since then, I have developed an absolute love for nature, having such amazing things around me. And then I did my undergraduation in Bachelor of Technology in Computer Science Engineering. And after completing my undergrad, I immediately started working for Wipro Technologies. There, I worked for about 3.5 years. Then I moved to HCL Technologies, wherein I worked for about 6 months. I realized that there wasn't a lot of progress for me. So I pivoted to EXL Services, which is my current employer. And I've been working for them for about 6 years now. And I decided that it's time to get my MBA. So here I am.
Sounds good. So you have managed people since just 2.5 years into your career and earned several fast track promotions. So
Yes.
this is not very usual.
Mhm.
So it's really exceptional.
Thank you.
So which leadership experiences have shaped you the most? And what specific mindset helped you rise so quickly in your career?
So I think what I have leadership experiences that I've learned from are through the leaders that I had around me at very early stage of my career. The one thing that I learned was to believe in the people around you, no matter even through the phases when they're not performing well. So where in initial career of mine, I had an amazing leader whom I was reporting to who had this belief in me, unshakable faith in me that, I can do more than what I was doing. And he never gave up on me. And that's what I learned from him. And when I had new hires coming into the team and people reporting to me, I just made sure that before judging them, I give them time to learn. And if nobody else is providing that, and there is certain expectation from somebody else, I would just put my foot into it and would take them under my umbrella and teach them things in a way that they learn by example. So, two things are very important for me, which is leading with empathy and with example, because the more they see you in a certain setup, the more they learn how things can be handled and they start developing their own instincts going from there. But they have to have a start. And if you can be a part of their journey, I think it's a great blessing to have. And what really helped me get those fast track promotions was just my curiosity to learn and grow. Wherever in whichever aspect I am in my life, I just want to make sure that I'm giving my best and I'm giving my 100%. I don't like doing things with half-heartedness. It's just my own values in life. So I just made sure that whatever I was assigned, I do it to my best capabilities and make sure that I am a valuable asset to the team who can, even in difficult times, find solutions, which is the most important thing. So I think that has been something really helpful. Yeah.
Great. So leading with empathy, leading by examples,
Yeah.
and putting in your best.
Yes.
These are the key traits
Yes.
of your leadership style.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So when did you start thinking about MBA and what are your career goals?
I first had a thought at 5 or 6 years in my career wherein I was like, I want to grow more.
Mm-hmm.
I want to learn. I do want to be at the top position of the company. But at the same time, I didn't want to leave tech.
Right.
And at that particular time, the colleges were not offering tech MBAs as they're offering now. So I just saw people around me and in my own family, wherein people who are in tech, they pivoted to MBA and they got into general management. So I was like, okay, let me just stay on the same track and try to work it from here. But then recently I realized that I had reached a threshold wherein I was, yes, I was capable of taking care of the technical aspect, but what about creating an impact? What exactly goes into a particular product or in a company to grow if I really want to be one of the top leaders? I have to learn aspects of that too. So that's when I thought that, okay, I need business knowledge as well. I've taken care of my technical knowledge. I need business. And so I decided that I would pursue my MBA in tech. And that's what I'm really excited about. And as my career goals, I am right now looking at full-time product management roles. Again, as I mentioned, technical aspect has been taken care of, but what about the business aspect that goes into it? What is the need or the demand that has arisen for the product to come into the picture, and how we can make it better in a way that the consumers are actually benefited from it. So I just want to learn all of that. So these are my career goals for now.
Right. So each school we applied to offers something unique. What attracted you specifically to these 4 programs? Kellogg MBAi, Haas, EW MBA, Stern, and Cornell MBA.
The amazing technical program that all these 4 programs bring was my criteria for looking for schools.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we spoke about it initially, wherein you were like, why don't you add another school or look for more schools or something like that? But I think while I was doing my research, not every other school is offering that technical specialization. Cornell has it, MBA, Kellogg has it, Stern has it, and EW, the Haas as well has it, and it's a #1 program. It constantly ranked #1. So I really wanted to go in that direction. I didn't care about what rejections, what acceptance, if I should apply to 10 schools, just to make sure that I get into one. I was very sure about this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to go ahead with. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I don't want to pivot my industry. So that was just a unique thing that I was looking for in college.
So you had your heart set on these 4 programs. Yes. And you were accepted into 3 of them. So how is Kellogg the best choice for you out of all these 3 that accepted you?
So while I was doing my research, and thankfully I had a friend who had done a tech MBA from US itself, and he told me that look, if you're going for a tech MBA, just make sure that you have an internship as well, because that's a great way to gain experience. A,
True.
and B, go for a full-time job wherein you have an opportunity to convert it, you know. So that thing stuck in my mind, and I was like, okay, I want internship, I want the technical specialization, and Kellogg was the one that was offering all of it.
Mhm.
So I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at their curriculum. Even the core business classes that they say that they have pivoted to include AI as well. So it's just amazing to see that they are going into that direction. So my heart was set on it.
Yeah.
There and then. Yeah.
And we are so glad
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
got into
Yeah.
it. So now let's talk about test scores, struggles, and resilience
Yeah.
to just get through them. 2 GMAT retakes, after which you switched to GRE and got 311 score. This could discourage any applicant.
Yeah.
Because this struggle continued for a few months.
Yes.
It was really a difficult journey for you. What kept you going?
So while I was moving to the US, I had a big poster in my room that said, look at solutions and not problems. I had this not give up attitude. I am not quitting, come what may. I literally sat down and I analyzed what are my strengths right now, except the score. What am I bringing to it? And I think just one aspect of it, just the one test score aspect, it was just one thing. I had 10 other things in my bucket. So I put my focus into that. I knew what I was bringing as a leader. I had the leadership experience. I had an amazing track record of my professional journey. I have an international experience. I've mentored so many people. I've been so active in my extracurriculars as well. So what have I to lose, right? So instead of being upset by a score, why not just tell them who I am, really am, and this is not just, it's not a true reflection of my potential.
Yeah.
So I just believed in myself that I can do it, and I went ahead with it. There was no looking back from it.
Yeah. And we moved your application from round 2 to round 3.
Yeah.
Which is the most competitive round.
Yeah.
And people are really apprehensive of applying in round 3. And I suggested you to write an optional essay and be honest about your struggles with GMAT and then switch to GRE.
Yeah.
And then demonstrate your quantitative skills through all the other accomplishments.
Right.
Not only your experience, but all the other certifications.
Yes, absolutely.
Certifications in advanced mathematics that you have done. So all that has worked.
Absolutely.
And you have been working in the US for 3 years. That also speaks for your verbal skills.
Yeah.
So, and this convinced the admission committee, all these accomplishments convinced the admission committee that you can handle the academic rigor of the program.
Absolutely. So I think my I took it on my ego initially where I was like, no, I have to get a score. I'm not submitting an optional essay. Why should I do that?
That's why you made this decision.
Yes. And then I was like,
it was our last minute decision. I said, it's not working. Let's address this in the optional essay.
Yeah.
What for they give us an optional essay?
It's
exactly.
for this reason. Yeah, I had to like sit myself down and explain myself. It's okay to write an optional essay. You have other things which can wait for you. Relax. Yeah. It's just a test.
Exactly.
It's okay.
There
So,
is a
yeah.
reason why they give
Exactly.
you the option of
Yeah.
writing optional essays.
Yeah,
So we did that and it worked.
it worked. Yeah.
So let's talk about the application process. Self-reflection is a key component of the MBA application process. And before we even started working on the resume, I have you fill out that questionnaire of
Yeah.
brainstorming ideas, questions. It was pretty comprehensive.
Yeah.
A questionnaire of 25 questions. So how do you think it helped you brainstorm your stories for different essays for different schools?
So I think every day we are not doing the self-reflection, what has happened in like past years of your life or what experiences you have gained over the years. So I think sitting with that 25 questions, it brought me closer to my roots. And we have a tendency of taking our families for granted and realizing what they bring to in our lives. So I remember when I was filling out the personal information questionnaire, I was like, oh my God, I'm so blessed. I have such overachievers in my family, and it made me realize, what am I doing with my life? So that was another motivation for me to be better and do better in life and get my higher education as well. And, that made me realize, okay, I have such a strong background and I
Yes,
can
you do.
handle things. And looking at the professional aspect, I think counting back to the stories wherein what challenges you had, what amazing things you did, what you think as a personal accomplishment was in your life. I think everything just brought back the required memory.
Right.
And it became easy for me to write my essays because it was already there. I didn't have to sit and think, oh, what should I write? What had happened then? I had already done the major aspect of it, wherein I think I dedicated a week or something like that to it.
Yeah, sometimes people take even more than that.
Yeah. So I already had most of it poured out somewhere, and I just needed to curate it as
Right.
needed by the schools.
Exactly.
So that was the biggest help, which helped flow out the content into the essays that was required.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an exercise of not only brainstorming ideas, but all the content that is required
Absolutely.
for essays for these schools.
Yeah.
And people have often told me that it's a journey of self-discovery.
Yeah, sure it is.
So of all the essay prompts, which one challenged you the most and how did you finally crack it?
I think Kellogg had really a lot of, I think they had 3 essays and then they had some additional essays as well. So that was really rigorous. And one that was challenging for me was one specific uh, difficult decision that you had to make in your professional setup. So I had a story in my mind, but it came with a little bit of negativity, I must say, wherein I wasn't quite happy with the things that had happened. And the most challenging thing was to portray it in the most respectful and elegant manner and look at things objectively.
True.
And not subjectively, that what I had felt.
True.
You have to write it in the most graceful way and still say that, yeah, it was a very difficult decision that I had to make. And I think I had written something as well wherein you were like, we can't
Write
portray
anything
negative. Yeah, yes. So that was a learning experience for me that, okay, whatever has happened, you have to look at it with the utmost grace and respect and write it in that manner. So, yeah, that was that was one that got to me, but we finally managed to do it.
That's the sign of a true leader.
Yeah,
Look at things objectively and then solve the problem.
absolutely.
It's not a smooth sailing.
Yeah,
Smooth sailing. You have to face challenges.
absolutely.
So to face them objectively, face them with courage, face them with resilience.
Yes.
Yeah. So would you like to share your thoughts on the MBA resume that we built? Because after brainstorming questionnaire, we proceeded to build the resume. After that, we started working on essays.
So I think this was a very fresh take on building resumes. Before this, I had worked on my resume like when I was switching my companies. And I think that job resume was completely different from what we had built. It was using STAR method. And I don't think I ever highlighted the outcomes of the work that I had done.
Yeah.
And now it has made me intentional in my work that I'm doing now, wherein I'm like, okay, if I'm doing something, if I have a task with me, why am I doing it? What is the intended outcome that I want to look at? So it has changed my perspective towards things, and I think it is going to help me in my MBA journey and whenever I go for my job after that.
Yeah.
And I think when I have my team, probably I'm going to drill this down to them as well, wherein they look at things from that STAR method perspective.
Yeah.
Why you are doing it and what is the outcome that you really want to look at. Yes.
Situation, task, action, and
result.
result.
Absolutely.
So that's how we did it.
It's a very objective way of looking at things.
Sure.
So
I'm glad it was helpful.
Yeah.
So the next comes recommendation letters. Recommendation letters are crucial parts of the MBA application, and I have seen many applicants struggle with choosing the right recommenders and then following it up with them for timely submission. So tell me about the challenges you faced with the recommendation letter submission and how did you navigate them?
So the recommendation journey wasn't that a smooth sail. Yeah. Thankfully, 2 or 3 programs required only one recommendation letter, but I was being over enthusiastic when I was like, no, I'll give 2 recommenders. So I got in touch with my previous managers, and I think they had their they were occupied with their work or whatever, and they were not able to make it up. So I felt dejected because one school Kellogg did require essentially 2 recommenders, but I was like, for the other schools, I was like, okay, this is just me being over enthusiastic in submitting 2. Let's just keep it to 1, the one that I have. It's completely okay. What really matters is looking at the second one that Kellogg wants.
Right.
I reached out to one. The person was busy. I reached out to second. After agreeing, I did not get any response. So instead of panicking, I was like, again, look for the solution. Whom can I find instead of dwelling into why he or she did not write it for me?
True.
So luckily, I had somebody whom I was reporting to when I had come here, worked for 6 months, and he was gracious enough to write it for me on a very short notice. And I think I was pretty much after his line to write those for me, even during the vacations that we had. So I used to be him, hey, can you please write it? Have you submitted it or whatever? Just trying to following it up, just making sure that if this one also doesn't write it, I make sure that I have the 4th person. So, but thankfully, that turned out to be well, and finally had the admin, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have any advice for prospective applicants about how to approach the recommenders?
I would say wherever you are, just it's very important to have a recommender or a manager or somebody who has actually evaluated you, who has seen you through things and guided you. One, that's the most important thing. Because somebody who wrote for me, I was working for him for about 1.5 years, and he had seen me through all the work that I was doing, whatever difficulties that I was facing. And there's a very beautiful question that every school has: is the constructive feedback that you received from your manager. So at times we don't take it in a good stride, but I think that's the best thing that you can have, because that helps you to grow.
Right.
And your reaction is the most important thing to it. So I'm glad that that happened. And then just make sure that whomever the second person that you're reaching out to, they are available as well. And you communicate to them very clearly that if they are not able to get it to you, just tell you that, okay, I'm so sorry, I've been occupied and I won't be able to write it for you. So just have these two things in mind, and I think it'll be good.
Yeah. And approach them well ahead of time.
Absolutely.
Because
Very ahead.
they are busy professionals.
Absolutely.
And it is an additional job for them.
Yes.
So they need to be approached much before the deadlines and a lot ahead of time.
Yep.
But now let's talk about the applicant pool you belong to. You belong to a competitive applicant pool of Indian tech professionals. What factors distinguished you from other tech professionals? And had you earned success in the program?
So I think the most important thing is how you are doing in your whatever you have in your current situation, how you are approaching it, and are you making the most out of it instead of wanting to be in another setup. So, for example, when I was working, when initially I had started, there were people wanting to move out, looking for something better that can help them grow even faster. But I always had this in mind that if I am being given this opportunity, I want to make sure that I am giving my 100%, because if this turns out to be a success, you are anyways going to rise. So everything that came into my bucket, I made sure that I stand out in that team and bring up and look for solutions and spend more time onto things and make sure that they leave an impact. So that, and I think that is the one impact that the universities are looking at, because that comes out on your resume. And whenever I had a chance of mentoring people, I just dived right into it, because as a leader, you are expected to be great with people around you. It's a community. You are not standing alone there. If you are running a team or a company or whatever it is, you have to interact with 100 other people. And how you interact with them, how you help them grow, is going to determine the success of whatever you are doing. So I think this was very crucial in my journey, and the international experience that I grabbed, that I was being offered, which again gave the universities the assurance that I have worked here, I know how to interact with the people here, and I have an experience in India as well. So I have worked with both, and exactly, I have at a point of time I worked with teams here and had a team working in India as well. So coordinating with them, coordinating with teams here and handling the project. I think all of that has added to the success. Yeah.
True. And you got accepted into a very selective program that has only 50 seats.
Yeah.
And that too in round 3.
Yeah.
So it's really commendable.
Yeah.
That is, you have distinguished yourself for all the, amongst all the, I would say, countless applicants that were applying to this program.
Yeah.
So that's really a great achievement.
Thank you.
Now, interview. After the application, after the candidates are selected for the interview, that's the last stage.
Yes. Yeah.
You can be accepted or rejected after the interview. Can you share your interview experience and tell us about a moment in any interview where you felt I'm connecting with the interviewer?
Yeah. I think both the interviews that I had with Kellogg and NYU, so just a gap of 2 days between the two. And the first that I had was Kellogg, and I think the lady that took my interview, the admission committee's staff, she was amazing. It was more of a conversational interview wherein the questions were really decorated in situational form and not directly asking, okay, what are the challenges you have faced? She was just picking up onto my words and then forming questions around it. And I think that was really refreshing. One thing that I felt that I was connecting with an interviewer was the NYU Stern's interview, wherein the interviewer himself was an alumni of Stern MBAi, and he started off by introducing himself, and the first thing he said was, I wanted to be a doctor. That's what I was pursuing initially. But then life happens, and I'm here now. And I think the best thing he did was to embrace it, and that's what he said, life can take you anywhere. You just have to, at times your plans don't work. So you have to just accept and
change.
Exactly. And that's what the tagline of NYU is. Change, dash. How do you take it, that word, right?
You wrote about dream it.
Yes.
Yeah. Not embrace it.
No, I don't know what dream it. And then that's when I felt like, okay, here is where I'm going to connect with him. And since I have this attitude of embracing what life is throwing at you in situations, just accepting the change and moving and shaping your life from there.
Right.
I think that was the moment where I had him. I was like, okay, we are on the same page towards life and towards situations in our life. And then whatever answers I gave, I think it just stuck with him. So they accepted me. So I think it worked. Yeah.
It's very important for the applicant to connect with the interviewer.
Right.
So that's what happened in both the interviews.
Yeah.
And
even in the Kellogg, the lady was into yoga, meditation, and everything. And I think for 10 minutes we spoke about yoga. So I think I really connected with both of the interviewers. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So you applied with almost 10 years of work experience. Many professionals, many applicants with 10 or 11 years of experience apply for executive MBA programs. But you were determined to apply for only full-time MBA program. So what convinced you that a full-time MBA was still the right fit for you?
First thing, I don't carry the baggage of 10 years of experience. It's just, I just look at things at this is what I've experienced over these years, and this is this much knowledge I have to navigate problems in a work setup. And I know how we can, and I know how I can handle things. But since I have this tendency of giving my 100% to something, I did not want to be divided between my MBA and my work, because when you are with a company for a certain time period, you are expected to perform despite anything. So I don't want to be lacking in my work, and I don't want to be lacking in my MBA and sit at the end of the day and say, oh, I should have, I don't have a lot of energy left to study, or I don't have that much brain space left for my work. So I was like, I don't care whatever years of experience I have. My main reason for pursuing full time was to give my 100% to my studies right now, put my energy there and reach my goals that I am aiming. So I don't think it has anything to do with 10 years of
how much
experience.
experience you have.
It's just an addition on my resume that this is the experience that I hold. This is the rigor with which I can handle things. It's just a display of that. Otherwise, I don't think, for me at least, there's no connection of going for an executive MBA just because I have 10 years of experience.
I totally get you.
Yeah.
I have also worked with many applicants who got into MBA programs, top MBA programs with 10 years, 11 years of work experience. But the reason I ask this question is many applicants, many older applicants are apprehensive of applying for full-time MBA programs.
Okay.
So what advice you have for them?
I think the first thing, I'm a very into belief kind of a person. So if you have this limiting belief in yourself that a school will not accept you into a full time because you have a 10 years of experience, I think that's just a limiting belief that you have.
Right.
Just find the right school that fits for you and have the intention why you want to pursue full time.
At this stage of your
career. I think if that is clear, then it's not a problem. Things will come around for you.
True.
But just have that right intention why you want to do a full time, and not be bogged down by what an industry on a normal basis is offering to you.
True.
It's about what you really want to do.
True.
So just think on those terms and you'll be good. Yeah.
True.
There's always a way out.
True. As long as your story makes sense to them, your career goals make sense to them, and that this is the right time for MBA, and this is the right school that can help you reach where you want to reach, you're good.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, Tanu, sorry, please. I forgot to tell you.
It's okay.
I'm making you speak non-stop. So you can relax for a minute or finish your coffee.
Yeah, good.
You're a strong believer and practitioner of yoga and meditation, as you just mentioned, and have also read 20 plus self-help books.
Yes.
Which practice proved most powerful, most successful during the hectic application cycle, which spanned around 6 months?
Yeah. So I think there were a bunch of things that I was doing. One was I had my meditation on. So there is an app that I would recommend everybody, which is Black Lotus, which has certain goals into it. Why you are pursuing meditation, what do you want to achieve out of it? So it helps you in setting goals. And at that point of time, I had something around success story or something like that, wherein there were videos and from sports people, how they navigated challenges in their life. They had everybody sees ups and downs, right?
Of course.
and I take a lot of inspiration from sports. That particular app had it as well. So
Okay.
I was meditating on regular basis, making sure that my nervous system was calm. And I was looking at things objectively and not subjectively. One, that was the thing. And second thing, as I mentioned, I derive a lot of inspiration from sports. So Michael Phelps, I used to watch his videos wherein he used to say that for 365 days, he was in the pool. If he's feeling sick, he was practicing. If it's his birthday, he was still practicing. Whatever it is, he was there in the pool, and that's what makes him a great and the biggest Olympic swimmer who has won multiple goals. Virat Kohli was another example for me. I remember sitting after my lunch in my living space and watching his videos wherein everybody has just shunned him down, saying that he's not performing. And when he played the most crucial match against Pakistan, wherein he hit those final 2 sixes, and he was like, that just came to me. It was, I didn't hit those, and there is something that was helped me achieve that. And he said that, whenever God's plan is to give you, he'll give it to you at the right moment. And I was hooked to it from then, and that's how I directed my energy towards it. I was like, whatever is happening right now, it's happening for the best for me. All I have to do is navigate through these things, and everything will turn out to be good. There was one more book that I would recommend everybody. One or two books, actually. One is You Can Heal Your Life by Lisa. Yeah, I'm forgetting the entire name, but yeah, it's a very famous book. Anybody can Google it. Wherein it talks about affirmations that you tell yourself. That it's very important how you talk to yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself and if you don't believe in your story, nobody else is going to believe it.
Very true.
So I did that. Plus, to detach myself from outcomes was very important, because on day-to-day basis, we're like, okay, I've done this and now this should happen,
Gita ka Updesh.
Yes. Apparently, I was not learning from Gita.
But this is what Lord Krishna had preached.
Exactly. But I was not able to set it in my mind until I came across a video of Ryan Holiday. He's a bestseller author, and he has a lot of books in his name wherein he talks about stoicism. So from Greek philosophers, those leaders at that time, I started dwelling into his videos, and I still remember the one quote that really stuck with me was, when you're doing something, you have been given a task, and B, you do it. And third thing, stop expecting the third thing from it. If I have to, for example, give an interview, I've been told that we'll be interviewing you. Now my work is to prepare for the interview and just sit for the interview and give my best, and don't expect anything out of it.
True.
That's how you control things, and that has what taught me to be calm during that particular process. And I think after submitting the applications, I was very jolly and I was enjoying. I was like, I have done whatever was in my hands. Right. Rest, whatever will happen, I have an amazing story. I believe in myself. I'm not expecting anything out of it now.
Yeah. I remember I have never seen you dejected or frustrated, even after so many GMAT attempts and not being able to boost your score. I never saw you dejected. So that is what I really admire about you. That faith of yours that universe is taking care of me. Yeah. A higher power is taking care of me, is watching over me. So that belief,
I think if
is
people like these amazing cricketers being gifted if they are surrendering it to the higher power,
True.
I mean, I think we're not even performing at that level, right? So just surrendering is the best way to do it, and you'll be taken care of. This is what I have learned through this journey is true surrender. You'll be taken care of. Yeah.
And do your best.
Yeah, and give your 100%. Just don't think on the basis of, oh, if I do this, will I get it? No, I have to do this. I have my goals that I want to achieve. If it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, it's also fine. You're not going to die. Trust me.
It's not the life
Yeah,
and
it's
death
not the end of the life.
situation. Yeah. So, about the GMAT score, I'm asking you again for people who get discouraged with modest GMAT or GRE scores. I'm asking you this question again. That despite a modest test score, you received admits from 3 out of 4 schools they applied to, and that too in round 3, which is the most competitive round. So, what do you believe were the key factors behind this success, apart from your faith?
Apart from my faith, the most important thing was looking at my strengths. What other aspects of my application are there that can make me stand out despite my modest score?
True.
So I took care of that in the best possible way, highlighting my story, keeping my ego aside, writing an optional essay. That was very important.
Which was very hard for me
Very
to convince you to
Yes.
write it.
Yes, I had to give in, and it worked out for the best. It is there for a reason, so utilize it. Second thing was make sure that positivity is around you and positivity is going into you through the words you speak, through the books that you read, and the people that you have around you. At that particular time, I think the closest people were you and my family in India. So when I used to come out of center, wherein I would want to cry, initial 2 times I didn't. The final time, wherein I was like, I don't know what is happening. I remember calling my parents and I just burst out crying in front of them. So it is very important to know where to release that energy that you have inside of you and where to utilize it the most. Because if you take care of that part, I think you will center yourself and you'll have the ability to think even clearly and just let it go. Don't dwell what has happened. Don't react to things in a negative way. Respond, don't react. So I've learned all of these lines from these books that I've read.
Right.
So just read the right books and implement them in your life. I think you will be good.
Positivity
Absolutely.
is
Very
most important.
Yeah.
So, to sum up, if you could sum up your entire MBA journey in just one word, what could that be?
I think I'll say 2.
Okay.
Never quit.
Wonderful.
Never quit. Yeah.
So it's really a fantastic experience to have you share your thoughts, your experiences on your MBA journey, which I have been part of all these 6-7 months. I'm really glad and feel privileged to be part of your MBA journey. And I'm sure that all your insights, all your feedback on positivity, resilience, never quitting will be very helpful for prospective applicants who are kind of scared of this daunting, exhausting MBA journey. And again, thank you so much for flying into Phoenix just to meet me and celebrate this great occasion, celebrate your remarkable success in person. This is the first time I am having this congratulatory, celebratory interview in person. So
I think you're the best person who I could share this with, because as I told you, I had a very intimate circle during that time. It was just you and my family. So family is taken care of. But if somebody I can fly to here and give my gratitude, and I just feel with gratitude for you to for you to be my mentor in this entire journey. So thank you for taking me.
It was my privilege. And, I remember that you signed up for multiple school package without even talking to me, without even emailing me. So that tells a lot about your faith in your decisions, because people always have initial consultation calls, or they write emails. Nobody just signs up for multiple school package without even emailing me. So that also speaks volumes about your personality, about your faith in your instincts, in your decisions, in your thoughts.
I think it is your website that reflected it. Your accomplishments that you have shown on your website. And I think the giveaway was Mansi's video wherein she had gotten in all N7 schools. So if somebody has that kind of success, that means she knows what she's doing. And plus your background, your education background, said PhD in English, I was very impressed. I was like, okay, I am going to get quality. And these are such amazing reviews that you already have a GMAT club and your own website and LinkedIn. As like, okay, I don't need to really speak to the person first. I'm just going to go ahead with it because this is what I am really looking for. We'll navigate after it. After we start working on it. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And your coming down to see me really means a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And come again.
For sure.
Stay in touch.
Yeah. Thank you.